What's good, YouTube? Andre here with the DM Network. Y'all, today I want to talk about Dragon Ball Project Z, but also a little bit about Super Dragon Ball Heroes. But before we get into the video, y'all know the routine. If you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything at all. It costs you $0, and it helps us to continue doing what we enjoy doing and making this content. Now, I'm thinking about this game, and we talked a little bit yesterday about E3 and possibly some of the things that would come from that as far as information about this game. I talked a little bit about how I speculated anyway, that we would have gotten some information about this game by at least March, because it didn't seem that they would wait all the way till E3 to talk about this game. I said that they would probably talk about it alongside Super Dragon Ball Heroes, but that doesn't seem to be the case. And it makes sense from a business standpoint, like I said, because you don't want your games overshadowing each other. But since Super Dragon Ball Heroes is only on the Switch and PC, in my opinion, it would have been a good idea to also talk about the new Dragon Ball game, because it's only on PlayStation and Xbox and probably PC as well, but it's not on the Switch. It's not going to be released on the Switch as of right now. And so, but yeah, okay, do you have people who have multiple consoles? Of course, but a lot of people who have the Switch, may not have the PlayStation or Xbox, and vice versa. Some people do have all consoles. So it just depends. I mean, I get both sides of the story. I just, if it was me, which is not my business, but if it were me, I probably wouldn't wait 6 to 7 months to bring up a game that's supposed to come out this year. But in the same breath, I understand why they're doing it. And then part of me is like that because I want to hear about this game. The excitement level is so high that I want to hear about this game. And like I said, that is a positive thing, because that means that this is a pretty big project. If they were already talking about the gameplay and all this other stuff, which we want them to, don't get me wrong, but think about this. If they were already doing that, then that means that this game probably isn't that big. But in the negative side of it, I don't always like to touch on negative stuff, but on the not so positive side of it, the fact that they aren't saying anything means that they're still working on the game. And if the game is coming out this year, I don't want them to rush this game. I guess that's the basis of this video. Is don't rush it. Yeah, we want to hear stuff about it. Yeah, we want to get our hands on it. That's always. But do not rush this game. Are they being pushed to get this game out in 2019, or are they on schedule to get this game out in 2019? I hope that they're on schedule, because when games are pushed, when games are forced, you get games like Mass Effect Andromeda. You get games that are incomplete. You get games like Vanilla Destiny. Stuff like that. Games that have the potential to be great. Not to mean that doesn't mean that it can't release and not be finished, as to say, and then they can finish the game while it's released, in a sense. But it's very difficult. You're walking on a very thin line when you're doing that. Destiny was able to bounce back, in my opinion. All games aren't able to do that. Anthem right now is kind of struggling because of the way that it was released, So it's imperative that you release a game and then improve on that, because otherwise you release a game incomplete, so you have to complete it, and then you have to build on the completion, and it's just too much time, too much resources, and more than not, that game's probably going to fail. So, and we want a good product. We want a complete product. Otherwise, we'll end up with just the Frieza saga, when they initially intended us to play all the way through the Buu saga. And then they do the other sagas as DLC, or possibly free updates or whatever, I don't know. But I would rather have a full, complete game at release. If they have to say, hey guys, we're going to have to push this game back till February of next year or something like that, I'm not going to like it. I don't think anybody would like it. But yet and still, we would appreciate it as long as the finished product is worth the time spent, as long as it's, so that's my thing. That's what I'm thinking about right now. And, because I have to ask myself these questions. Why aren't they talking about this game right now? Why would you announce a game at the end of January? Well, even so, it was like the 28th, I think, when they did the release trailer, something like that. 26th, 28th, it was the end of January. So you might as well say February. So it's technically only been a month. It hasn't been that long. It just feels like forever because we're so anxious to hear about it. But they haven't, And when will they do that? I think everybody knows it'll probably be after April, whenever Super Dragon Ball comes out. Because there's the thing about that. Super Dragon Ball Heroes comes out in April, and it's on the Switch and the PC. Now, I like Dokkan Battle. I like Dokkan Battle a lot. Only thing I don't like about Dokkan Battle is there are some going through the levels. I would rather all the fights and missions be like they are in what is it? The Z battle, the extreme battles, where you just go straight to fighting the enemy instead of going through all these little dots on the map. I don't like all of that. To me, that's useless. Just give me whatever drops are on the page after I beat them or whatever. Well, that's neither. And then Dragon Ball Legends, Super Dragon Ball, or Dragon Ball Legends or whatever. I like that as well. So I think that I would like playing Super Dragon Ball Heroes. I like Dragon Ball as it is. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, Dragon Ball Super. When they start adding all these different fusions and brand new characters that aren't in the anime and stuff like that, that's when I kind of be like, eh. And the reason why is because the story is going to be lackluster. I mean, look at Xenoverse. Xenoverse story, the concept of the story is awesome. How they employ it, not so much so. And then it doesn't leave anything to add. Like Xenoverse 2 literally was the same thing as Xenoverse 1. You know, they didn't add more to the story until Fu came in at the end. And it's like, well, Fu should have been a part of the whole entire story of Xenoverse 2 in a sense, you know, stuff like that. You know, it's not to say that they can't write good, but it's tough. It's harder. But I would definitely be checking out Super Dragon Ball Heroes World Mission. Hopefully I can get a Switch by then. I used to have one, but I sold it because there weren't any games coming out for it, and I just didn't want to sit around collecting dust. So, and I wasn't into Zelda that much, so you know, I gave it to somebody that could benefit from it. But anyway, I'll probably be looking into getting that as well. But with that coming out in April, maybe we'll hear about this game after that. But like I said, I understand why, because this game is Super Dragon Ball Heroes is already out in Japan. The game is already out. It's just making its Western world release. And in Bandai North America, Bandai US is taking a chance at this to get this game released over here, because, you know, there are games that Japan gets that America doesn't get. And one thing about it is we want Super Dragon Ball Heroes to be successful. Why? Because it's going to open up the door for us to receive more games like this. Because there's even another game, it's a Dragon Ball arcade game that's only in Japan. It's not in the States. You know, so if a game like this that was only intended to be in Japan comes over to the States and it sells extremely well, guess what? That's going to tell them, hey, this can, even though they know Dragon Ball sells well in the market, you know, they'll say, hey, this game is going to do really, really well. Now, you may ask, why isn't this game on PlayStation or Xbox? First of all, Xbox doesn't sell well in Japan. That's why you see the stuff that's going on with Xenoverse is on the PS4 and not the Xbox, because it costs money to do those kinds of things. And the main group of people that are playing Xenoverse are on the PlayStation. Because, like I said, in Japan, the Xboxes just don't do well. Or Xenoverse 2 in that sense. The Xenoverse series. And handhelds are extremely popular in Japan. That's why the Nintendo Switch, that's why this game is on the Switch, because handhelds are extremely popular. They're more popular than consoles, if I would say, in Japan. Like cellular devices, mobile games, and all that kind of stuff. That's why you see all of that stuff come out in Japan first. Like this new Dragon Ball game that I did a video on for mobile that isn't out here yet. It's already out over there, or finna come out over there. Dragon Ball Dokkan Battle started out in Japan. Dragon Ball Legends, same thing. Then they come over here to the States or whatever. So, you know, that's why you see this on the Switch and not on console. But you know, will it eventually come to console? Probably not. But it is what it is. Plus, Nintendo's Japan, so it's all put together. So, you know, if it gets over here and it sells well, that's going to be great for us. That's why I would look into getting this game. I would probably still buy this game even if I don't have a Switch, because I want to support it. And because I know eventually I'm going to get a Switch and I'm going to want to play this game. So why not go ahead and get the game? You know, it sounds crazy to some, but it makes sense to me. But I have to digress. But we want this game to do well because it opens up the door. We want every Dragon Ball game to do well. Every Dragon Ball game. Why? Because it opens up the door for us to get more Dragon Ball games. And for those people who don't have the game that they've dreamed about, it opens up the door for you to get it. We've been dreaming about this an action RPG Dragon Ball game for years. And I'm not talking about Legacy of Goku. I'm talking about for console-based games. And especially if this is an open world Dragon Ball game, this is something that a lot of people have been dreaming about for years. So, it does take time. And if you continue to dream about it, eventually it'll manifest itself. So that's what we want, So if there's a game out there or a Dragon Ball style game that you would like to see, this is the perfect time because they're going to be, the more we support these games, the more we say this is what we want, the more the market is going to put those types of games out there for us. You see what I'm saying? So back to Project Z, like I said, I hope that they take their time on this game. I think that's why we haven't heard anything because Bandai 2 wants to focus on this game. They want to get all the other titles out of the way because they release. But after April, I think it's going to be full steam ahead for Project Z. I think it's going to be a lot of marketing done for this game. I think there's going to be a lot of PR done for this game, a lot of live streams, giveaways and all that kind of stuff. I think they're going to heavily market this game. And if they are doing that, that means that this game is going to be pretty big. I have faith in Bandai. I haven't, I play a lot of their games. Bandai doesn't put out bad projects. It's not like EA and stuff that puts out these half-done projects. They take pride in what they do. And for the most, there's some bad games here or there. Yeah, but for the most part, their games are really good and they really take pride in that. And I do too. So that's all I got for right now, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Subscribe if you're new. Subscribe if you haven't. Till next time, thanks for watching.